They telling you to be mean. They telling you to be hurtful. They telling you to be demeaning. They telling you to be disrespectful. And then that's because you want to help black women. Stop. We have been taking terrible advice from terrible people.
Period.
The internet has us taking terrible advice from terrible people, and we are in turn doing terrible things based on that terrible advice. In this day and age, everybody's an expert.
See the thumbnail.
Yes.
That's
Yes. It's the reason why them. Exactly. It's the reason why we picked that thumbnail because first on the terrible advice from terrible people shit, right? Like people like Charleston White, people like Andrew Tate, people like Umar Johnson, people like the Fresh and Fit podcast. All of these.
Who's the OG, the grandfather of all? We can't go without you saying they for the fave's name. What's his name?
Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels.
I'm gonna say rest where you rest, Kevin Samuels. I ain't gonna tell you how to rest. Rest where you rest.
Rest where you rested, right? Like all of these people give terrible advice under the guise of trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
They have some of the worst skewed and destructive and dangerous perspectives on relationships and gender and just like people in general, but people sit at their feet and listen and learn, and then they point at you and they tell you that the only reason that you don't like what Charleston White says, the only reason you don't like what Tommy Sotomayor says is because he's telling the truth.
Come on.
You just don't like the truth.
You just don't like the truth.
You just want to make excuses. Or as they said, Kevin Samuels, you're just a simp. Right? It's all of these. Any intelligent mind can look at what these people say and what they espouse. Charleston White.
Come on.
These are the same people telling you that
they niggas and I hate them niggas. I hate them niggas every time I see them. And I just every time I see them when they look like they in my neighborhood, you're not supposed to be here. So I call the police and say, I see these niggas in my neighborhood, and they don't live around here. I'd like you to come and check them out. Because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I pay my bills. I pay my taxes. And I just don't see no reason why these niggas, literally, I don't know if I sound like Uncle Ruckus or Charleston White in this moment, but it sounds familiar.
Is there a difference? Charleston White is somebody who claims to care about black people while he wears Confederate flags on his neck. Y'all are taking relationship advice from niggas who can't maintain a relationship.
I think and let me tell y'all, it's because I don't know if y'all saw it's a viral video floating around because these niggas got sons, they got disciples, right? So we know the passport bros been passport broing. We told y'all, had a whole show about the passport bros and how they going over there being broke. They driving up the market because you taking them on $100 dates, and that ain't how the economy works over here, man. So now this girl's expecting me to take her on a $200 date because that ain't beefing. Now, most recently, and if the circumstances were different, I would feel sad for this man, but I don't feel sorry for him at all. It's a video of a Vietnamese woman and a dark-skinned 6'4" black man floating around on Twitter. And I guess the situation was while him and the girl, he's like vlogging and talking to her because while him and the girl was like, I guess somewhere in public or whatever, she basically told whoever she was talking to that he was ugly, like big and ugly. And he sat her down and was like, why would you sit up here basically and let them call? Why would you joke about that? Like, that's not funny to me. And she's like, in my culture, that's how we joke, we talk, he, whatever. Well, it was clearly shading this man. And so he like, but that hurts my feelings. Like, you don't understand that, from my perspective, I'm already the sticking out like a sore thumb. I'm this big black man walking around. I'm 6'4", and now you letting people call me ugly and call me this, that, and the other. It hurts my feelings. And all I can do is sit there and say, look at that bed you made. Look at you having to lay in it. You fetishize, and somebody pointed this out in a tweet, you fetishize this Asian woman, and because you thought you was going to get a certain type of docile, timid, scary pushover of an Asian woman that was going to make your world amazing and not give you no stress, and you fell for that. So you fell down that rabbit hole, And just like that, now she up here making stereotypes and fetishizing you to the people that she know, because now you just this big black ugly man. Like, I think she was calling him ugly too. And all I could do was sit there and say, nigga, I can't even feel sorry for you because you played yourself. What they said about Stupid Games Club? What they tell me what they said about them Stupid Games?
Stupid games. You win stupid prizes.
Da-da-da-da. Hope you enjoy it. Enjoy playing with that thing, because like nobody can feel sorry for you. But this is because you listen to fools. This is because you listen to terrible people telling you to do terrible shit.
They telling you to be mean. They telling you to be hurtful. They telling you to be demeaning. They telling you to be disrespectful. And then that's because you want to help black women. Stop.
Like Basil said, it's a prime example of a self-fulfilling prophecy. They hear what they want to hear. In other words, they sit in the echo chamber, right? They sit around people who just confirm the same dumb shit that they hear. They say, oh, yep, you sure right. And now, look at you. Like, you have no ability to think for yourself, and now you're just reverberating the same toxic bullshit around each other. It's just like when you share a code, right? It's like when somebody in your house is sick and then it just bounce around and y'all just flip it a couple times. Like, you look stupid.
Right. J Universe said it's the lack of education and parental guidance and probably a few other things. I got nephews that came across Tate and the Passport Bros. I had their parents ban YouTube immediately. Yeah. I mean, it's a reason why. It's a reason why Andrew Tate is literally being indicted for human trafficking right now. Like, and all they've had to use is how he talks about what he does with women on podcasts. Like, he bragged about setting them up in like acting like they're his girlfriend just to then get them to do cam stuff, and then after you get them to do the cam stuff, now you working, right? That's literally grooming, bro. You know what I mean?
He's not paying them. He not doing he keeping withholding, abusing them, all types of crazy stuff.
All type of crazy shit. And this is who y'all trying to take relationship advice from. This is who you want to help you understand women. Y'all take from terrible advice from terrible people, and it's making y'all terrible people. And then also, I ain't gonna spend too much time on it because I know people who talk about health shit. Like, people that try to tell you about vaccines don't know shit about vaccines. People who try to tell you about GMOs don't know shit about GMOs. Niggas be trying to tell you 5G is killing you. All of that type of shit. Right? Shout out to Gwyneth Paltrow.
There was a video of a black man floating around a couple weeks ago because everybody's in love with seeded watermelons. I want a seeded watermelon. I ain't eating them GMO watermelons, and I need my seeds. And this old black man, I forgot where he's from. I think he might have been from Texas, but broke it down and said, "Ain't no." He's literally said he sell his watermelons at the farmers market and had to go to making pamphlets because he had so many people coming up to him talking about do your watermelons have seeds? I don't want no GMOs. He said, "Baby, it's not GMOs. It's about how you crossbreed and how you breed them." I forgot. I'm no scientist, but he was like, you take a mama and a daddy with seeds, and I think a mama and a daddy without no seeds, and you put the mama and you get one batch, and then you go replant them and get it. But it's
farming. It's botany.
It took me back to alleles and damn, the Punnett square science class. Took me back to middle school, high school. Makes perfect sense to me, right? In the sense that this is a man who is not in a laboratory. He's just making an honest living selling a fruit that black people have perfected selling for generations. That's the reason why we get the negative stereotype of watermelons, is because we were selling them. Right. And white people decided to flip and subvert that image.
And we was actually eating off of it. We was eating off selling watermelons.
Making money, right? And decided to make it a negative connotation with us. So I know he got generations of knowledge about that. And it's shit like that it's just like, bro, you listening to the wrong people, but because there's so much information everywhere, you look like a fool. You don't really know what you think you know because we saying stuff that's trendy.
Yeah, I was just about to say, J Universe said it in the chat. I was just about to say this too. Everything is modified.
Yep.
Everything. Like, you can't. Like ancient, old watermelon isn't edible. Like, the way a watermelon used to be, it's not edible. Bananas too, right? They weren't edible. It's through manipulation of farming practices that we get edible fruits, and you know what I'm saying, like watermelon and bananas. So stop listening to people who don't know what the fuck they talking about. It's really making us terrible people out here. So